What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So today I want to talk about the M4 signature attachment that is coming out for Season 2, which is an underbarrel grenade launcher. So this is the first time we're getting something like that. Hopefully in the future we probably might get an underbarrel shotgun, but as of right now we gotta just focus on the underbarrel grenade launcher, and this is something that a lot of people are alarmed and are kind of afraid of. Of course, this video is only to highlight what I think is going to happen, not what is going to happen, but it's a very important topic because, again, this is the first time we're ever receiving a grenade launcher attachment for any weapon. The only grenade launcher thing that's, I guess, the closest in this game is probably just the War Machine. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, the War Machine, as well as the Thumper. And of course, we've had our fair share of those things being pretty strong, but you know, given that this game has progressed over time, they're not really that overpowered now. I mean, I hardly ever see anyone use it, especially in ranked, in the deeper parts of it, at least when you go into Grandmaster or Legendary. But there were moments in time where they were kind of overpowered and a lot of people were asking for them to get nerfed. However, that's not really the case now since they're not really a problem anymore. But when it comes to having like an underbarrel grenade launcher alongside a weapon that you just fire the normal way, I can understand why people are a little bit afraid. But again, it's the M4. It's not really the best assault rifle in the game. If anything, it's been shit for a long time, and up until recently, it's gotten a few buffs to make it a lot more usable. But of course, when it comes to objective game modes, specifically with Search and Destroy and Hardpoint, yeah, I could definitely see why it's a concern, but we do have to like factor in what can happen with this grenade launcher. I mean, we don't even know the details of it yet, or like the explosive damage or the radius, because in the public it has not actually been tested, so we don't know how lethal it's going to be. Another thing that we have to keep into consideration is that for all we know, they could only really just give us one grenade that we could launch, unless we use like the perk that gives us like an extra grenade. But again, like the way that I see it personally is that if they're gonna have like at least one grenade, it's probably gonna be really powerful. But if they're gonna have like 2 or 3, then I don't really expect the damage to be that devastating, unless you use that demo expert thing or whatever perk that allows you to have more damage with it. I don't expect it to be that devastating unless you have that on. But again, I mean, it also matters, again, how many there are going to be with that specific grenade launcher. Typically in Call of Duty, or at least in classic Call of Duty, whenever you had a grenade launcher attachment, they typically had 2, unless you had Scavenger, where you could just replenish it over and over again. Unless it's Modern Warfare 2, where they had a one-man army, but obviously in this game we don't have that perk. So it's really up in the air how many grenades that they're going to have. If anything, the way I see it's probably going to be used in emergency situations, kind of like how the taser attachment is used with the Pharaoh. It could be one of those one-off things where you just have to use it because you ran out of ammo or whatever the case may be. As it goes for, you know, especially like in hardpoint shipment, I could definitely see it being like a complete nightmare. Or I know a lot of people are worried that they're just going to spam this nonstop and they're not even going to actually fire any M4 basic rounds. But I don't know if that's truly going to be the case. And based on the seasonal challenges, I mean, that's when the signature attachments are usually available. I don't think it's going to be too hard to unlock. But obviously, if you're going to buy the Legendary, you're probably just going to automatically get it. So a lot of people are obviously going to try it. But again, it's something that we just kind of need to wait for. Especially when it comes to explosives. I mean, the C4 that came out recently is extremely devastating. I see this all the time in Search and Destroy. It has a big explosive radius, but again, with the grenade launcher, I don't expect it to be that devastating. The C4, like I think by like every sense of the word, is probably the most devastating explosive that we have in this game right now. And one final thing that we do have to take into account is that how many people can that grenade launcher kill at once? Because like I said, based on my own logic, the one that I typically use, if they're gonna have like only one grenade in that grenade launcher, I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty devastating. But if there's a bigger amount, it's probably not gonna be that overpowered. But at the same time, I kind of do want to know how many people it could take down at once, because that does kind of matter when it comes to hardpoint matches, because you could end up taking like multiple targets down if it is lethal enough. But at the end of the day, if it is too weak, they're probably going to have some sort of in-game update where they just, you know, buff it immediately. but if it's too powerful, they might just nerf it down. Or if anything, that they might just keep it just perfectly balanced. I don't really expect COD Mobile to just go overboard with this thing. I mean, they do tend to, at least now, rectify their mistakes when it comes to balancing. So I'm just going to go with my gut and just kind of like trust them on this. I know that's kind of like not something that I would normally do, but I don't know. Like, given that they've improved overall when it comes to weapon balance, I think they'll do all right when it comes to this grenade launcher. So it's just something that we're gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, my opinions will change once I get my hands on it, or even if I go into the training room and try it myself. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for some more COD Mobile content. I'll see you guys next time.